One of the next stations is the lighting board. The lighting board is important because it allows us to get the same color temperature for both of our cameras, and we can also individually control each of the lights hanging on the grid above us. So this is the steps to turn the lighting board on. You'll notice in the top right there's a power button located right here. What you'll do is simply push that power button and the board will glow and get you the light up settings. Now it'll start in the menus tab, and that's the menus tab that we're going to be using. There's another menu tab that I'm going to show you next. For normal broadcasts, you'll simply turn that power button on like we did, and you'll take number 1 and you slide it up to about 6 or 7, and that'll turn on all the lights in the room. Once you've done that, you're going to go over to the wall over here and turn the light switch off. Now you can notice that the studio lights above us are the only ones on, and the room lights are actually turned off. The next thing I'm going to talk about is the lighting board. One of the really important things about the lighting board is you're actually able to use each of the individual faders to turn on individual lights, or there are some presets on here that I set up that you're welcome to use. Now the one that we already saw was turning on all of the lights with fader number 1. This turns on all of the lights at the same power level for the entire studio. The second one is number 2. And this only turns the lights on for the anchor desk over on the right hand side of the studio. And number 3 will only do it for the stand-up green screen on the left hand side of the studio. Those 3 red menus are the only lighting rows that are enabled under the red menu button. So in order to change that, I'll zoom in on it. In order to change that, you'll, instead of pushing the menus button, you'll push 1 through 24. And this will allow you to address all of our 18 different lights inside of the studio. Let me show you what that looks like. So if you're not using the menus, maybe you're going to make a production and you want it to be your own lighting, you can use the 1 through 24 selection on the right hand side. And that's located over right here, that one's selected. So on our lighting board, what I have is I have all these different faders turned up, and all of those different lights are at different brightnesses. So this will allow you to maybe make a different scene have a different mood, or if you're not using the green screen, you could just simply light your scene in a different way to help tell your story. So that's the turning on of the light board and adjusting the lights. Now here's how we turn it off. The first step is to make sure all of the faders are down. And you can tell all the lights are off if all of the green icons underneath them are gone. So you see down here number 14, actually that green icon is still on. So we're going to make sure that's dragged or drug all the way down. Then all you'll do is simply go over to the right hand side of the light board. So on the right hand side of the light board, what I like to do is I like to set the faders back to the menu for the next person who will use it. And then you're just going to come up to the top right and click power. And then you'll hit the menu button and check mark to confirm that you're turning the lights off. You'll know the light board is off when the LED or the LCD switch in the top here goes away, and there will be no other lights on the board. And that's the lighting board tutorial.